I had some tea in me now. Flavors.
Feeling
delightful.
pretty good about it?
Sure, man.
Nice.
It's a way for me to get some fluids, you know?
I like
You get your fluids in, but they're flavored, so it's easier to drink them, and you're not just like, more water.
Yeah. Water
Which
feels a
I can
little
do.
anticlimactic.
No, I like water, but I have to be thirsty, like feel thirsty to want water.
Like after you eat a whole pizza.
Or work out.
That's more like soda. You want like something sweet after pizza for me.
I do want something fizzy.
Always sweet.
Fizzy water.
But yeah, like when I'm working out and you're just like,
Then
you know,
drink
when you work,
water.
yeah, you wake up and the water tastes sweet. You're like really thirsty. You know, oh, this water is literally sweet. And that's the jam.
Dude, I was hanging out with Nick yesterday at Beeline.
Yeah.
And I was inspired by his AI-powered workflow that he's got going on.
Tell me more.
Tell me more about how it powered him.
All right, so this was his thing. He was sending me like drafts of mission statement, vision planning stuff. And jokingly, he's like, "Yeah, I was just like kicking it around with Nick GPT for a while."
Right.
And I got a little chuckle out of it, and then we met up, and turns out, so I've never done this, but you can create your own GPT. So
Yeah.
you've got Chat GPT, and then you can create a GPT within that has certain directives.
Okay.
So basically, he's got the generic Chat GPT 5 or whatever, and then his own Nick GPT, which he basically like input the mission of his business, what he's trying to do with it, like his core values, all of these things, and then gave it a directive. You are a executive assistant brainstorming partner that does this,
You like
this,
tell it
this,
exactly
and-
what it is.
Right, and those things are stored.
How it behaves.
Those things are stored in this GPT, and then he found this thing called Plod through his ShopFix program. That's his, version of EO for shop owners. So Plod is basically a audio recorder. They have a bunch of different ones.
Like Otter does it.
Yeah, so this one's like clips to his phone. So it interfaces with an app. You just touch a button and it starts recording everything. It can record phone calls or record voice memos. And then it automatically transcribes it and dumps it into its own little... you can transcribe it as is, or you can have it do summaries and stuff.
Cool.
So he just uses that and sends the transcription over to Nick GPT
Yep.
to create notes for his own meetings, and he just keeps feeding this GPT
Yep.
information. And then when he's doing like staff meetings or one-on-ones or new protocols, he'll just have that be essentially his thinking partner.
Yeah.
Because we were talking about the same thing where it's like, dude, I have notes forever on my phone of things that were quote unquote important, and they just are in like they just go there to die. Right. It's kind of fun.
So just
Yeah,
select,
that's cool. I've
consolidate.
heard more and more people doing something like that.
Yeah, and it's just like it just makes it easy for him because he's like, I don't spend my time doing outlines from scratch. It's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And ChatGPT works okay, but when you're feeding it, and it's not perfect, but
The more you feed it, though, the more
smarter
it will.
gets.
Yeah.
The more it feels like you.
Yeah.
It's like creating an efficient version of him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As long as you're giving it feedback the whole time, right? That's the whole thing. Like, don't say it like that. Do it like this.
Yeah.
That's half the battle. Is like, yeah, for sure. It can be cool.
So
It's a good way to keep your mind focused on conversations and things that you want to have instead of, again, spending potentially mental energy
Yeah. Because
making sure you remember everything.
right, that's should be like the positive
Right.
side of AI is to make things more productive.
Yeah.
right.
I don't like the
for-
side
for us.
for us, for you. I hate the side where people are just letting it do all the thinking for them, assuming it's going to be right. And that's the part that's challenging to me. Everybody's all, just put it in ChatGPT. It'll write the job description for you. It'll write it all out. And I'm like, well, you still are going to have to like probably rewrite half of whatever comes out of there if you do, and change the language to make it make more sense for how you speak and your culture potentially. But
Yeah.
that's what I've seen when I play with it mostly. Is it's like, yeah, that's cool. It's great if you want to like have a ambiguous voice that people would read and be like, yeah, that sounds like something. The end, like no heart, no soul behind it. You can feel it for sure.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Agreed.
but I think there needs to be places where you use it, or else we're wasting a lot of time and energy.
No, I mean, I think sometimes we kind of are in our own bubble, but when we step out of it everywhere I go and everybody I talk to is using some form of AI.
Yeah.
Every other business, like I talk to different, people outside the coffee industry and different businesses, they're all using AI in some form. And random places that I go, whether it's the gym or on a
Right.
trip somewhere or I'm at a hotel, it's like all the conversations around me are people talking about AI and how they use it, or they work for companies that use it. So I hear it everywhere.
I mean, we adapted Google. Google's like the original wannabe version of it. It just didn't like take whatever you're asking it and turn it into something that is usable for you, right? I mean, that's what you do with Google is like ask it a question and it gives you whatever answer it finds, and that's ChatGPT. Well, all the GPTs are versions of that, just with like expanded directives that come with. It's like ask me a thing, I'll find you a thing, and then I'll help you use it, and it's like taking it a step further. So it's not like we didn't use a version of this; we just didn't call it AI, right?
Yeah, and
It's like a search engine, but it's
well, it wouldn't, because Google could never write a job description for you.
well, that's what I'm saying.
Right?
But you would. A lot of people would do this though. They'd Google job descriptions and they'd pull up the 10 different job descriptions of this position, and then they'd look at all the stuff and be like, "Ooh, I like this, that, and the other." So all I'm saying is that a lot of people use Google and just would take the work from Google. It's like one part of what is happening now. This is just like expanded in my mind. That's what I see a lot of.
Yeah, another part I've talked to other business owners about is like the newest version of some of the AI, like the ChatGPT 5 or other models, is like you can create software. You can like code by prompt.
Right.
That's cray.
And
for
so
like website development.
Yeah, just for software development. So people can create their own tools and customize them just based on they can create the code via like AI prompt.
Right. He was talking about having it do things on his behalf, like put this in Dropbox or pull this out of Google Drive, or just busy work that you could code into doing. That was beyond my pay grade for sure. I was like, I have no idea.
But even beyond that is like creating like software whole like you can code
like from
whole
scratch.
software programs from scratch.
Like if you wanted to make an app or
via
something.
prompt, like you don't have to be like a
coder.
trained software engineer. And so that's where you're seeing some of the headlines of like Microsoft
saw
and
that.
bigger companies.
Ugh.
Once you can code by AI prompt, it's like you don't need as many software engineers to
I'm
create all
sure.
the same
Do you think
things.
they're going to start leaving Santa Cruz now and start giving us some more affordable rent? Or nope, too late. Those are the ones that made all the money. They're the ones that are
Yeah,
here.
I don't think anyone's going anywhere.
Yeah,
I mean,
no,
there's
I'm
only
kidding.
more people in the U.S. and there's a finite amount of California coastline where people actually want to live, and we're just right smack dab in the middle of it.
Yeah, and I mean it's
So-
not the young people here that are.
Nope.
It's that the demographics are shifting older where we live.
Yeah.
That's
Sick.
why school.
No, for
classes
sure.
number
Yeah.
of classes get smaller. Schools shut down. That's more the demographic.
Pretty
Pretty soon we're just going to be a big retirement community here in Santa Cruz.
That's the direction that it's going.
Real bummer. It's a real bummer.
Segue,
I mean, it kind of was a retirement community already.
like in the
Well,
before days.
The reason it's cool is
Yeah.
not because of any of that, though. The reason anybody wants to be here is not retirement community.
Right.
I mean,
it had
oh,
some
wow.
skate, right, with the NHS. It had some skate culture.
Yeah.
It
Yeah, but
had
I feel
some
like
surf
it always
culture.
had. Yeah, there was some skate and surf culture, but I always feel like Santa Cruz always had. I honestly feel like anywhere where you are near the coast and have a really high quality of living, you kind of skewed towards the older demographic, because it's like, who can afford to live in these places?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think it was just that Santa Cruz just wasn't that nice here.
No, it wasn't nice
at all.
No. I mean, it wasn't developed at all.
The reason
80s
it's
or
nice is all
90s,
because of the service
tech
culture.
money.
And then, well, no, it's the service culture, really, right? I mean, what else? The tech money doesn't make this place nicer.
Well, you could make
People are
you could
rich.
make like the double argument of Santa Cruz, where it's like that's one thing that makes it nice. There's also something charming about it being the beach town that it was in the early 2000s and had zero service culture, and it was just like rough and ready. I think there's something
Yeah.
charming about that Santa Cruz too. It just depends on what you want.
I don't. I think that Santa Cruz was the reason. Like, it had horrible crime. People were afraid to be on the east side of where we were. There's all gang battles, like, in this town. That sounds horrible. Like, east side, west side, like, actual fights and gang battles. And, like, the vibe I got was like, ugh. Like, I mean, some people do like it. That's why they say Valley go home. So they say Valley go home.
Valley go home.
Yeah. I'm like, I mean, when I moved here with Verve, it was not what I thought it was going to be. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I drove down and I took Highway 1 thinking it was going to be like what Highway 1 looks like. And then I got here and Mission Street was the first street I pulled into. And I was like, I might have made a mistake. And then I drove through town, and then 41st Avenue was the second street I drove down. I was like, this place kind of sucks.
I mean, there wasn't anything there.
Well, I mean, it was all like Mission Street is still basically the same. So if you've driven down Mission Street, it's not the most pretty place to drive. And then 41st, there wasn't anything there, but the things that were there was the Capitola Mall, and actually a lot of 41st kind of looks the same except for the end for the most part.
That's pretty much true.
Yeah. So like I was, you know, it felt like I was driving into
41st
like
isn't
41st
a great
isn't-
strip
no.
until you get to
the end where like
hook.
Verve kind of
yeah.
like changed
Once you
the game.
cross Brahmer
And the
you-
burritos.
you get it. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
and chill
There's-
out at the time.
There was nothing
And
there.
Pink Godzilla sushi actually was kind of fun at the time too. But yeah, I mean, it was such a like, I was like, oh no,
But that's
it was cray.
That's the prime time coffee shop thing that just happens over and over again. And I have so many mixed emotions about it. I mean, you say the same thing in San Francisco with the Mission. It's like
yeah,
people go there because there's nothing there. The rent's cheap. Nobody really wants to be there. So you can
like originally.
yeah,
Yeah.
we would go. I had a friend who like his mom had some boyfriend who was way younger than him, so he was like a little bit older than us. But
Yeah.
he's all into
Brought you to the city.
hardcore scene, and we would go to the city, and we'd always end up in the Mission. And there's stuff there. It's its own thriving community,
Yeah.
but not the stuff that was there now.
Yeah.
It was really rough and ready, and that's charming in some sort of way. So I'm sure when you're a new business owner, Eileen and Jeremy are looking for a spot to open up. Oh, this is cool because it's affordable, and
Totally.
it's just cheap.
Weren't they known for like really yummy like Mexican food, and like that culture was over there?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, there's great Mexican food in
Yeah.
the Mission, but like now, that's why I have these mixed emotions about it. It's like now you go there and you still have some of that, but
Yeah.
also some of it looks like a strip mall. And
Yeah.
you have, I mean, it's an elevated strip mall.
Well,
You
it's
have
'cause
these
you have the
fancy
old city
quote unquote
buildings.
new
Yeah.
things happening,
Sure.
like these new style. And you see the same thing in Santa Cruz. I'm sure there's some people who are just like super bummed about the new Santa Cruz.
Yeah.
And like I get it.
Yeah.
I totally get it. I'm torn because I like having good things to eat and drink and nice cocktails.
yeah,
And I also get the charm of something that's just nothing.
yeah. I just don't know how the city's sustainable without that stuff. It's like people who come here with the money want to go to do the things, and so all the service culture is necessary to provide those things. Yet the service culture by default is the lowest paid culture. So everything that the people come here that they want to go do outside of their houses revolves on people who can't afford to stay here a lot of the time.
Totally.
And that's where I'm like, what are you all thinking? Like when it all goes away, when all your favorite places or lots of your favorite places go away, which we're not going to, I'm not saying it like that. That sounds like writing on the wall, but like,
It's like when all the young
does
people
happen?
move
Like,
away.
like when all the
then
young people
what's
who
left?
right, and then then the complaints go the other way, which is like it's all so expensive now. It's like, well, we have to pay people with houses and things. You know what I'm saying? Like that's like the perpetual cycle that could happen, and that's I think why people move to places like San Francisco now, which is it's cheaper to live in San Francisco than Santa Cruz across the board,
which is really interesting. 'Cause
That's
that
kind
was,
of insane
San
to me.
Francisco was the most expensive place by far
Yeah.
in this whole Bay Area, 15 years ago.
Yeah, it's
was
troubling
living
in
this-
that way. Like troubling in a way where I'm like, this is just feels ass backwards. And there's nothing I can do about it per se. But I think about that in terms of just general logic. And it's one of those, I just don't think people think about it like that until it's happening in such a way where they're like, this is kind of gnarly, Or they just end up going to, they sink into their style and they end up eating at what would be like the equivalent of a local Olive Garden until they're like 90 years old because that's what they do.
Well, right. That's like the play I'm making for Old Santa Cruz, because
Right.
Old Santa Cruz doesn't include any tech money really. Old Santa Cruz is just
Right.
this like funky little beach town where people are happy to go to Linda's Seabreeze Cafe
Right.
or whatever, and that's fine.
Yeah.
And like
Yeah, and I like me some Linda's,
that's
actually.
like
It's great.
there's some charm to that. Again, I don't know if that's for me, but it's just
Yeah.
I totally get it. But
I like
yeah,
that.
the cost of living, I don't know. It's like people are gonna have to battle the market.
Mm-hmm.
I think people want the amenities enough that they are willing to pay for them so long as the experience matches the price that you're paying.
Sure.
And I think that's going to kind of separate the wheat from the chaff, and who's
Agreed.
willing to go above and beyond and create those experiences and who's not.
That's going to happen.
And
It
some of
already
those
is.
people are going to go out of business.
Yeah.
And I don't want them to. That's not what I'm saying, but I just think that's inevitable.
I think that's the reality anywhere too. You have to grow and evolve for sure. And yeah, the people with the best cultures and the best business models will end up staying in business while the others don't. And that is kind of the nature of the beast with that one too. I don't necessarily always feel bad about that. I more just think about like the generalized challenges of, and just like that experience and how it feels, mostly because like if I look to move somewhere, there's like, literally, I looked online. There's 6 places that are 2 bedrooms. At least, again,
Are you looking to move somewhere, Jer?
No,
Yeah, where
it's
are you
just
trying
like
to go? Let's talk
it's
about
just if you
this.
think about places with like a little more space and like for kids to play and things like that. It's like I have a fine place, and I don't need to move. But it's like if you were looking to move and you look at like Craigslist and Zillow, there's literally like 6 units, places available that are you can have a dog in, 6 total that are $4,000. Everything else is more expensive, and that's at 2 bedrooms,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
That's at 2 bedrooms. I have 2 human beings, so like at a 3 bedroom, you're jumping up from that.
Or you're
it's
going to
like,
be paying 5.5,
yeah, which is like
or at least
that
5.
makes a lot of sense for people. Anybody, you know? So I'm like, no, I can't do that. So that's a whole thing. And they sit there, and you're like, you know, obviously inflation's a thing, but in 2011, it was like $1,600 for a 2 bedroom in
Oh.
Capitola Village,
It was funny because when
Beautiful
you
Capitola
guys
Village.
moved into your place, though, your place was $1,600.
and it was quote unquote it's sort of expensive.
It was expensive because Jenny and I were paying 12.
Right.
And
Right.
you guys moved in and we're just like 16. We'll never pay 16. That's insane. Like super cool space, like right
Yeah.
by Gales. I mean, it's prime time.
dude. And it's still a nice place. Like I would,
Our spot was tight too.
Yeah.
But yeah, 12 and $1,600 respectively seems just, if someone told me that now, I'd be like, yep,
tears of joy.
here we go. It just doesn't exist.
I know. So that's just a funny world. I wouldn't even call it a complaint. It's just like it's a weird paradox. You want to be here for sure. And
Yeah,
then-
no, that's where we talk about the people that are often like successfully able to stay and work in service in Santa Cruz. Like they often have some kind of like unique living situation,
Right.
that allows them to kind of buck the usual like expense and trend of what most other people have.
Yeah.
Right, you've
Funded
gotta-
by mom or dad or living with parents.
Yeah,
or,
you've got to find some kind
Definitely,
of
we had a
unique
roommate for a long time.
experience to you're happy to live with roommates
Yep.
or something. There's got to be something that's a little different than just like I live in a house
Oh, yeah.
by myself.
Which is not really normal. I mean, when I moved here, and I was an adult at that point, I was close to 30 when I moved here, and I was living in a house with 5 or 6 other people,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
So it wasn't like it was chill. I didn't have that much money back then either. So I don't know what I was
Like
paying.
had to happen.
It was $700 or something for me. So 700 times the 5 or 6 people who live there. It wasn't.
Right, the rent still that's
Well, that's when they would do it by room, right? You had
By
like
room.
you had the bigger room.
I had the big room. Yeah, I
so think
started
it
in the
was closer
small
to
room, then I
5.
moved over to the big
exactly,
room.
right?
Yeah.
Like a $500 to $700
Yeah, you could get
range.
a $500 room back then for
Yeah.
sure. But even
to
that
6.
was. I was happy to be here. Don't get me wrong, but it does suck to live with 5 other people who you don't know.
Just having basic pasta.
On basic pasta.
That was one of the people who live with them. I'm having a nice
Tim,
basic
just
pasta
making
tonight.
a basic pasta. I cooked meat, some sort of big meat product in Miles's cast iron skillet, not knowing that he was a vegan. I was oh shit, my bad, bro. I didn't know.
You're all
You gotta tell me this shit. I thought we were in communal kitchen. Henry from Night Owl's yelling at me because I never did the dishes or whatever.
Henry. Dude, Henry was yelling at everybody in that house though.
Henry was really happy or really upset.
Yeah, there's no in between for
He was
him.
good vibes or he's just like, fuck everybody.
And so what happens when you stay up all night selling cookies? It's like your whole. He was marketing it up to the 420 night crowd.
Yeah.
And he was winning at the time.
Pretty thick in the
Do you think
Santa
they're
Cruz
still a
scene back-
business?
They should be. It's a great business model. So
Somebody's a business.
Night Owl Cookies was something that started here, and it started as basically a cookie delivery service for college kids. So between, started at 8, 9, 10 p.m., I don't know, and go to 3 or 4 in the morning. So if you're just stoned out of your mind or drunk and you want something to snack on, you can order these cookies and they go drop the cookies off. And then it evolved. They would start selling other stuff. Oh, you need supplies for beer pong, like cups and pongs, or nationwide shipping. Yeah, you need condoms, whatever.
Holy
Night Owl
crap.
cookies. I'll deliver all that crap for you. It's
That's wild.
It's a college town's just ridiculous dream.
Henry was like a partner.
He had a business partner, yeah. I mean, it totally makes sense.
You got on Secret Miami.
It's
Maybe it's a different one. Let's find out.
It's
Hold on.
nothing
Let's see the
I
story.
want to do
It says
or
when I was
participate
20.
in, but it does make sense as a business model in a college town. Like you think in Santa
And
Barbara
you could
State,
scale it to other
yeah,
college
you would just
towns,
exactly
too.
run it as a franchise in
Yeah.
other college towns.
Yeah.
you
All
know,
right, yeah. He didn't say where he started, but when he was 20 years old, man behind the cookies ever since I can remember. I've been a sweets and food junkie. When I was 20, I began coming up with ideas to enhance the... Oh, no, this is just a specific Miami one. So they got the cake.
I mean, yeah, there's probably 10 Night Owl
Yeah.
cookies in
Well.
the world or something.
There's got to be. Anyways, Night Owl Cookie Co. Shout out.
They're sticking it to the man. They're paying rent. They're
Rent.
paying $6,000 for rent.
Not in Miami, I bet.
Slinging
dude.
those cookies. I don't know how
Not
much
in
it costs.
Miami. According to that one funny movie about communes, it's only $11,000 to buy some oceanfront property in Miami.
I'm ready.
Remember that? It's so good. Wanderlust.
Yeah, that's the movie.
That's for anybody out there. If you don't watch Wanderlust, go have yourself a nice time. That's your free tidbit from TMZ today and IMDb. Your boy, that's me. So that's we got no questions from the internet. We love and hate AI, but love it for the right reasons and hate it for the right reasons. And what else?
Yeah, I'm agnostic. It's a tool. You
tool,
know,
yeah.
do whatever you will with it.
And then
I mean, people who use it in the way where where it's doing literally all the thinking for them are going to get they're going to reap the quote unquote rewards of having something else do all the thinking for them.
the lack of gray matter.
I mean, it's just part of the beauty of figuring something out is figuring it out and going through the mental gymnastics to figure it out, and then using the tool to do the things that are more
like base
rote
level.
or mundane.
Right.
That makes sense, but it's it's the same kind of thing when, can I see your training systems?
Right.
Sure, but the best thing for you is going to be for you to go through the process of creating your own training systems, because that makes you do the hard work of figuring out what your company needs, and the things that are specific to you.
Absolutely.
So
I know. Brainstorming is the best thing I feel like I've seen out of things like ChatGPT.
yeah,
It's like throw out all these ideas and you can kind of,
I really haven't used it much, and I probably
Same.
should use it more, only because it's just going to be a part of our lives.
I haven't much either, but I mean, that same concept is just...
Or I'll just move to Montana and just never talk to anybody again.
I'll hit up Whitefish and just call it good.
That's another possibility.
I've never
Get
been to
some
Montana.
land, get some land in the nothing.
Wiser's got a thought.
Wiser's thinking about something.
He's all, speaking of Montana, what the fuck are you talking about?
Well, the question I have to you is why learn from anyone?
Why learn from anyone? What do you mean?
Well, there's a saying, or a quote. Maybe it's a quote, but and maybe this is just part of the quote. But what I know is it's standing on the shoulders of giants, meaning we know what we know and can achieve more because of what we've learned from others and what they've done. So what I hear you saying to these people that want to learn from, say, like our training systems, you need to learn for yourself. When they just might want perspective for that journey that they're already on.
That's where I was going to go
Right, because
with you.
it depends on your intention matters, right? Because I like seeing other people's work because it helps me get inspired, not because I want to copy it. And then, I mean, even if you don't want to copy it, everything's kind of a copy of something anyway. There's some amount of copying that's happening because that's what they do. So almost nobody has any kind of original thought. So I'm more making a note for the short,
Well, it's for the lack of thinking and critical thought and coming up with your own intention and your own perspective. That's what I think is lost.
There's people with multiple intentions who want to see the same thing for different reasons. And I like working at, you know what I mean? I love looking at other people's creative flow because it gets me juiced to do my own thing, So
it was just my initial reaction to hearing you essentially say, figure it out for yourself. Was this feeling of missing the whole other side of things. Getting that perspective and knowledge from others only helps people to see further on the challenges and things they're already working on. No one is asking, okay, at least me, I'll say for me, I'm never asking how somebody did it so that I can just do it that way and make the hard part go away. I'm wanting to know how someone did it so I can figure out how I want to do it.
I think that's wise. That's a big reason that I was interested in the Disney Institute to begin with. It's like, I know we're not going to do the exact Disney thing, but I know that what Disney does from going into their parks all the time works regardless of how you feel about how they do it, regardless of how you feel about the company itself, regardless of how you feel about anything, actually. If you go in there, whatever's happening makes billions of dollars and millions of dollars a day. So something is working, and you can decide to just like be like, that sucks, that's them. Or you can say, what are concepts that I could learn from looking at what they do and learning more about how they do it in depth that might work for what I'm trying to do. And the point of doing anything intentionally and with your own soul and purpose is to express yourself and your viewpoints through it in a way that hopefully matters. And that's when they work, is usually when they resonate with other human beings.
Right.
So whatever the case may be, Disney does something that resonates with a lot of people. We can't do it like Disney does it, but we can definitely say, how do you do certain things, and then adapt them to the cat and cloud way if they are adaptable, or take that and be like, that's a really interesting approach. It won't work for us, but this one little sliver does work, and it's just repeatable, and then let's build upon that and build our own flow. And that to me is the whole, I think that's a way to learn and to grow in every single which way. And you can do that in every single coffee shop. You can go to anybody's coffee shop, you can go to anybody's roastery, and they might do it different than you ever will. I mean, there's some places that I've gone into and I'm like, I wish we could be as clean as them. And we will work towards being clean as them. But I think what I find interesting about going through all these processes is like, why are they so clean? What are the things that allow them to be clean and do this, that, and the other that maybe we don't have? And you can't just go like, we need to be cleaner, go figure it out. You need to be able to help people and be like, this is what we're missing. Like, there's a systematic miss somewhere. And unless you get that big perspective from these companies and places that have worked through all the time and effort, or it can save you a lot of energy being like, oh shit, that's the piece that I like, that is a part of this puzzle that we're not actively engaging in, or this is a piece that we're not clearly articulating that could change the way we do business and like make us thousands of dollars, but also save us thousands of dollars and make everybody way happier. And that's the shit that like I eat for breakfast.
He eats it for breakfast.
I love that stuff. That makes me so happy because it's like a way to help everybody and improve something. And it's like a really challenging place to live. And I just don't think a lot of people don't have the heart to do it. And that's fair. I think a lot of people just want to make more money faster. I think maybe one of you were talking about that with somebody in our ethos of like, they want to get to this place really, really quickly. So they're going to do it like this and they expect it to work. And that's not always how this goes. You know, you can't just like put into ChatGPT this and then it gives you like, this is the business plan for $1 million. And you go do it and you're like, I don't know why the fuck it's not working. It's like, because you don't know how it works and you don't know why it works. You just like, that's what I try to tell people when I'm teaching them coffee. You can cognitively understand everything that we do on that espresso machine by way of looking at the internet. But then you go to do it physically and you're all, it doesn't taste good. And you're like, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's just like,
I mean,
it all kind of runs together to me. But you have to put in the time and effort and have intentional thought and connect whatever you're learning to what you're trying to do.
Right. I think that's where I'm going with it as well.
Mm-hmm. And obviously that's a passion of mine that sits
because
slightly
having a
different.
recipe doesn't make you a great chef.
No.
You know?
Absolutely.
Like you can have the same recipe as
the
the greatest
product.
chef ever and you can create garbage.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Buy the fish that's old instead of the fish that's new. What if that's like the thing you
or
didn't
even
know?
buy, or there's so many things
Well,
that
exactly.
are intangible.
Right.
You could buy the best fish. You could buy the best ingredients.
Right.
You could have the perfect recipe and still make something that tastes like crap.
Sure. Yeah.
Because there's all, you know what I mean? You could download your entire brain into someone, like feed them every single piece of espresso knowledge you have, and then it's going to be a long time before they can make espresso in the same way that you can. Mm-hmm. Because there's all these little intangibles that come with just doing the thing.
Yeah. Yeah. My voice cracks.
I got it, guys. We're good.
No, I agree. I wish there was a way to download like perception of how flavors taste by way of all the different little mini variables that you play with in espresso, and just to be like, I can taste what that is in terms of extraction, but it's really hard for other people to grab it without going through that process of just seeing either just like the other side of it or the slightly different tweak to whatever that might be, and be like, oh, that's the difference in taste. And you can't do that without spending hours and hours and hours just tasting. That's just tasting. That's like without even learning to do it fast or well
That's what
or
makes
clean.
anything a craft.
Yeah,
right.
totally.
Is that there's intangibles or things that are different to each person, perceptions, tastes, that aren't just like things you read off a page or
Right.
things that are black and white. Like that's what I think makes our industry special relative to other industries.
Hell yeah, you guys.
Jared got a reel in the
Nobody's-
bank right now, dude. He just banked it.
Hey everyone, that's the podcast for the week. Thanks so much for listening. If you heard something that inspired you, or if you heard something that gave you more questions than answers, send us an email to podcast@catandcloud.com. And if you're looking to know more about us, then head to our website at catandcloud.com, where you can find everything we have to offer. A great place to start would be The Answer, our house coffee that's right for any occasion. Or the Best Friends Blend, a coffee that tastes just as good as the good it does by donating $1 per pound back to our partnering producers. Also, if you're feeling extra friendly, connect with us in the usual places, like YouTube, Instagram, pretty much everywhere that's hip. All right, that's it. Thanks for being awesome, everyone, and we'll be back next week.